employment and importation of goods. Contributions of the laureates and other outstanding intellectual gains as one factor for development. As House of Representatives reconvenes plenary Wednesday, issues to form part of discussions by members highlighted. And 30 more inmates at the Ado-Ekiti prisons who escaped rearrested. Hello, welcome to NTA International News. I'm Nancy Governor Anyunihu. We begin with efforts towards Nigeria's self-sustenance. President Goodluck Jonathan has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to reduce unemployment and importation of goods that the country has immense capacity to produce locally. This was at the president's dinner with top 100 businesses in Nigeria. Shegun Lawale reports.
They are referred to as drivers of growth and bedrock of development. They are the 100 most successful businesses out of the 3.6 million companies said to be doing business in Nigeria. Some of them have existed even before the country's amalgamation, giving employment to millions of Nigerians, inspiring Nigerian youths, and giving hope for a greater tomorrow. The president's dinner with these captains of industry and CEOs of conglomerates was to recognize their contributions to the country's economic growth, in spite of challenges, and their commitment to the Nigerian people with greater confidence that they will help shape the future of the country.
I urge you, as custodians of the Nigerian economy, to discharge your obligations with unrelenting vigor and to stand by us as we pursue our national economic aspirations. My vision for Nigerian economy is to reduce unemployment, to accelerate growth, to sharply reduce the importation of goods that can be produced locally, to expand our exports of value-added products. Indeed, my vision is to have an economy that works for all Nigerians, not just a few, and to become one of the top 10 most competitive economies in the world.
From oil and gas to consumer goods, building to manufacturing, pharmaceuticals to financial services, automobile, power, and telecommunications, the top 100 companies are also grateful to the present administration for the beautiful business environment and the sincerity of purpose in line with President Jonathan's promise.
Over the last 3 years, no other country probably in the world has increased its prominence economically as Nigeria has done. Today we have the largest cement plant on the continent in Nigeria, the largest rice mill in sub-Saharan Africa in Nigeria.
Wonderful incentives, beautiful operating environment, opportunities that make out of some of us world-beating members of the Forbes list.
President Jonathan later unveiled the top 100 books and the list of 100 top companies, with ExxonMobil, Nigeria, topping the list. From the banquet hall of the Presidential Villa, Abuja, Shegun Lawale, NTA News.
Meanwhile, President Goodluck Jonathan has identified the contributions of the laureates and other outstanding intellectual gains as one factor for development. The president said this in a message at the 7th Annual Forum of the National Nigerian Order of Merit. Correspondent Kenneth Nanim reports that he was represented by Vice President Muhammad Namadi Sambo.
President Jonathan says the contributions of the laureates have assisted the government in policy formulation, enthronement of good governance, and in the fight against insecurity.
The theme you have chosen for this year's forum, the national value system, is very apt because it addresses value orientation. Coming at this time of national transformation, it will go a long way in helping us review the menace of insurgency.
Dr. Ferdinand Aku, who stood in for the secretary to the federal government, Senator Anyim Pius Anyim, says government will continue to support the group, having contributed to national development.
Our country needs patriotic citizens making outstanding achievements in various fields of endeavor.
Guest Speaker Bishop Matthew Kuka highlighted issues of moral values, divided loyalty among citizens, individualism, loss of identity, endurance and sacrifice as fundamental areas of reorientation for achieving national value system.
We'll have this confusion and this convulsion if the systems do not begin to address the issue surrounding the creeping inequalities that cut across ethnicity.
The Nigerian National Order of Merit Award was established in 1979, an order of dignity given to deserving citizens of Nigeria for outstanding intellectual attainments. In Abuja, Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
And to security matters, a 24-hour curfew has been imposed in Damaturu, the Yobe state capital, northeast Nigeria. A statement issued by the special advisor to the governor on media, Abdullahi Bego, says the curfew only affects the state capital, Damaturu. The curfew, which takes immediate effect, was approved by Governor Ibrahim Gaidam after consultations with heads of security agencies in the state. Correspondent Aliu Mshelia reports that the action is to enable security agents conduct mop-up exercise after Monday's attack by Boko Haram members. Now, more than 30 more inmates of Ado-Ekiti prisons who escaped during a jailbreak have been rearrested, bringing the figure to 67. Ayo Ogunliyu reports that the controller of prisons, Kehinde Fadibe, reports or rules out insurgency while speaking with Governor Ayo Fayoshe, who visited the prison.
The Ado-Ekiti prisons, with capacity to accommodate about 200 inmates, according to eyewitness, was bombarded with series of explosions, which was said to have been perpetrated by gunmen who allegedly came to set some inmates free. With about 700 inmates and over 300 awaiting trial, the attack led to scores of inmates fleeing, while the state controller of prisons, Mr. Kehinde Fadipe, said armed warders and other security agencies have commenced search to rearrest them.
We were attacked from outside, not from within, from outside. They came massively with different weapons.
The state controller, who ruled out the insinuation that insurgents carried out the attack, promised to release official figures and facts as soon as investigation is completed.
We don't have any Boko Haram inmates here. You understand? So the motive of those that came will come to light later.
Meanwhile, security have been beefed up in the area, while visitors are not allowed except for strictly official reasons. In Ado-Ekiti, I am Ayo Ogunleye, NTA News.
Now moving to politics, the Federal High Court Abuja has dismissed the suit filed by ex-PDP chairman Bamanga Tukuru and Aliyu Guri seeking the removal of the incumbent PDP chairman Adamu Muazu. In another development, the House of Representatives is expected to reconvene plenary on Wednesday, the 3rd of December 2014, after a long recess. National Assembly correspondent Aishatu Zango Abdullahi has a situation report.
The House of Representatives has been on recess for the past 5 weeks. Prior to this, the lawmakers had initiated a number of bills, most of which went through the first reading, while others attained the second reading status, with some few others passed and are awaiting presidential assent. Chairman House Committee on Rules and Business, Representative Sam Soko, says the House also approved the $1 billion loan request for the presidency and also approved a welfare package for the NYSC members. The House of Representatives also recommended a better condition of service for the Nigerian traffic wardens and endorsed the proposal for the establishment of a cable television aimed at checkmating the current monopoly of the cable television business by the DSTV.
Every measure that has been taken by the House from 2011 up to the time we went on recess on 28 September have been major issues, including even the budget. Important as the budget is, I don't rate it over and above any other measure from the president or from any member of the House at all.
Representative Sam Soko spoke on some bills that are pending before the House of Representatives.
The petroleum industry bill, the report of the committee on electoral matters on the bill for an act to amend the Electoral Act is on the front burner, and we are really considering it seriously too. Another matter that is of paramount importance is the budget, which is not yet before the House. Mr. President submitted the MTEF.
It will be recalled that the House of Representatives cut short their recess and sat at plenary on Thursday, the 20th of November 2014, when they conceded and rejected President Goodluck Jonathan's request for the extension of state of emergency in the Northeast geopolitical zone. As the House reconvenes on Wednesday, the 3rd of December 2014, what are the likely issues on their agenda? In Abuja, Aishatu Zango Abdullahi, NTA News.
And more on the political terrain, Akwa Ibom State Governor Chief Godswill Akpabio has described the peaceful conduct of the just concluded House of Assembly primaries in the state as a sign of victory for the party in 2015 general elections. He stated this shortly after he had participated in his ward. Jenny Bassi has details.
The primaries were held in all the wards of the 31 local government areas of the state. Governor Akpabio described the exercise as credible and peaceful, stressing that it is a legacy to the credit of the leadership of PDP. The governor said PDP as a party has provided a level playing field and conducive environment for transparent, free primaries, a signal of good fortune for PDP come 2015 general elections where true democracy will be practiced.
I'm very delighted that for the first time in the history of democracy in Nigeria and in my state, the issue of money politics was totally eliminated. People just went out there to exercise their conscience and to vote according to the dictates of their conscience. And I'm delighted that it went peacefully, it was very transparent, and the reports are sick.
The state chairman of PDP, Obong Polekpo, said 819 aspirants were cleared for primaries of the State House of Assembly, noting that the result received indicates that most popular candidates emerged the winner.
So the 819 people stood for election today, and I'm happy that the result coming in had shown that the candidates who are popular in those areas emerged the winner.
Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has set up an appeal committee to listen to complaints and petitions of aggrieved candidates. In Uyo, Jenny Bassi, NTA News.
You're watching the news on NTA International, reaching you from Abuja, Nigeria. A review of the major stories. You heard that President Goodluck Jonathan has reaffirmed the commitment of his administration to reduce unemployment and the importation of goods that the country has the capacity to produce. This was when he hosted 100 businesses in Nigeria to a dinner. We also told you that contributions of the laureates and other outstanding intellectual gains have been seen as one factor for development. And coming after the break, ICPC holds interactive forum to validate and adopt revised code of professional practice of business. These are more when we return.
About 50 years ago, a child was born in the Ajah district of Ibadan land, named Oluwaseyi Abiodun Makinde. This child is divinely endowed with philanthropy and kindness to the extent that he cannot bear to see people suffer around him. He has therefore taken it upon himself to touch lives and make impact with various philanthropic gestures, scholarship to indigent students, empowerment, widowhood supports, and countless others.
He has been doing a lot of things, despite that he's not in government. He's trying. He has done so many things for the people, bursting and work for the students, taking care of the widows.
Support PDP. PDP power.
are watching NTA, Nigerian Television Authority. For more information and news updates, visit our website at www.nta.ng, or you can follow us on Twitter at NTA News Now, or you can like us on Facebook at NTA Network News. Stay connected on our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/NTA News Online. Watch our live stream at www.nta.ng/live. NTA, you can't beat the rich.
Thank you for being there. Information just reaching us says the House of Representatives will now reconvene on the 16th of December 2014 and not Wednesday the 3rd, as earlier announced. Moving on, now Youth and Manpower Development, ICT apprentices under the federal government Skills Development and Apprenticeship Support have come up with a business plan for a centralized medical record to alleviate the challenges of record keeping in Nigerian hospitals. Taiwo Dubeson tells us more.
After a 2-week training in skills development, these 37 apprentices who were successful in the assessment program were presented to the Minister of Youth Development. The ICT trainees, asking for government support, presented a business plan for a centralized medical record that will keep the database of every patient and will only be accessible to medical practitioners.
We do not have proper record-keeping culture in Nigeria. So we try to see all of these hitches and try to counter them with this, so you can quickly access your medical record at any point in time.
The participants, who are trained in agriculture, ICT, events management and photography, are expected to proceed on a 1-month apprenticeship program.
It is important that youth employment is always prioritized by governments in Africa, as it may hold the key to resolving the issues of unemployment, by extension peace and security, which are long-term development goals of the continent.
I look forward to unveiling in the near future young entrepreneurs emerging from this program, actively building businesses and contributing to national and global economic growth.
The ministry plans to expand the reach of the program in 2015 to more states of the Federation. In Abuja, Taiwo Odugbeson, NTA News.
And following the incident of insurgency in some parts of the country, orientation for 2014 Batch C Stream 2 is ongoing in only 7 NYSC camps across the country. Director, Core Mobilization NYSC Anthony Ani disclosed this during the swearing-in ceremony of the batch in the FCT at the NYSC FCT Orientation Camp, Kubwa. Olayinka Ojo reports.
One scheme that has continued to illuminate the path of success and national growth and development is the NYSC. But the scheme is also not without its challenges. To surmount some of them with reference to orientation and why 7 camps are participating in the 2014 Batch C Stream 2 exercise, NYSC Director Core Mobilization Anthony Ani speaks.
The states where you have had states of emergency, Yobe, Borno, and Adamawa, those ones who are not having their orientation, they had to go to other states. The number of core members we mobilized and deployed, they are more than the capacity of the camps. And because the present DG said he does not want any core member to be inconvenienced, so some people had to wait behind and then come in the second one.
The swearing-in ceremony for the youth corps members saw over 2,000 who met the criteria of registration take their oath of allegiance. Fielding questions on whether any corps member did not meet the necessary registration process in the FCT, Coordinator NYSC FCT Alawo Oladipeku said only a case of discrepancy in the biometric was discovered.
Once the system rejects your thumbprint, it is very clear that you are not the one that thumbprinted after it has been subjected to all other checks.
What did the NYSC do?
You are to present something for you to be accepted somewhere, and you cannot present it, you can't deliver, so you cannot be welcome there.
FCT Minister of State Olajumoke Akinjide represented gave the assurance that the FCT administration remained committed to the success and programs of the scheme.
We also remain committed to promoting the security and general welfare of core members serving within the territory.
In Abuja, Olayinka Ojo, NTA News.
Child educators from 4 geopolitical zones are attending a workshop on the use of indigenous values and materials to enhance the identity of the Nigerian child. Franka Uzomolua reports that the event is organized by the National Commission for Colleges of Education in Abuja.
The workshop is in response to the various criticisms on teachers' inability to effectively deliver instructions at the pre-primary level. The objective is to build the capacity of teacher educators on best global practice of training using developed indigenous models.
We have made adequate preparation for the production of teachers for early childhood and care education by coming up with a new NCE program dedicated to early childhood and care education for the training of teachers.
The training is expected to enhance the performance of teacher educators in the classrooms.
With economic empowerment and the need to make ends meet, more mothers are out there working. What happens to their children? What happens to the traditional role of the mothers? And so we will end up bringing children to life and not preparing them for life. And so this kind of culturally relevant early childhood care and education becomes available for mothers, especially young parents.
Participants from the Southeast, South-South, Southwest and Northeast geopolitical zones are attending the 4-day workshop. In Abuja, Franka Uzoma-Olua, NTA News.
The road to success in the business world requires more than just technical skills, practical knowledge, and a good product. It requires commitment and determination to put business ethics into practice to ensure public trust. This was the focus of the interactive forum to validate and adopt the revised Code of Professional Practice of Business Management Organizations. Kemi Fake has the details.
The forum, organized by the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, is to remind the professionals about the need to always perform their duties in line with established ethical standards.
There is one thing that puts a divide between a professional and a non-professional, and that is the professional conduct. That determines who is a professional and who is a quack. And at the bottom line, at the very basic, is the need for us within the various professions to draw a boundary for our conduct so that there will be consistency in practice, there will be integrity.
This forum, therefore, seeks to build the capacity of participants in the fight against organized corruption to strike a balance between service for personal interest and the public.
ICPC has decided to engage in partnerships and alliances with existing institutions such as yours in the fight against corruption. We should attack the substructures that promote corrupt practices in order to deal with the primary causative agents. At the same time, ICPC will deal with the symptoms through our enforcement mandate contained in Section 6A of the Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Act 2000.
For the participants, there is the need for more sensitization and education of the public before the enforcement of sanctions.
These councils are established by law, and yet, most times the stakeholders do not support these laws.
To make maximum impact on discussions at that level, it will be better for us to engage professionals based on sectorial grouping.
Responding to the observations raised, the ICPC chairman advised the public to assume whistleblower roles to assist the commission in promoting ethical standards, values, and integrity in service delivery in Nigeria. In Abuja, Kemi Fakeye, NTA News.
First Lady Dame Patience Jonathan has commiserated with the Anyam Osigwe dynasty over the brutal killing of one of their sons, Michael Anyam Osigwe, who was shot by armed robbers over the weekend. Dame Patience Jonathan said that the death of Mr. Michael Anyam Osigwe is no doubt a painful loss, not only to the family, but to numerous friends, business associates, well-wishers, and the nation. She adds that as a distinguished professional, a successful entrepreneur, the Coordinator General of Osigwe Anyam Osigwe Foundation, and a member of its Board of Trustees, Mr. Anyam Osigwe must have touched many lives positively during his lifetime and will be greatly missed by many. The First Lady prayed that God in his infinite mercy will grant the family the fortitude to bear the irreparable loss and assuage the pains of those he left behind. Sports is next. Flying Eagles coach Manu Garba drills 30 players in Kaduna. Samson Siasia expresses satisfaction with his quality of players in under-23 camp. Plus, Messi, Ronaldo, and Manuel Neuer in a three-way battle for Soccer Top's individual prize. Let's join Fisayo Gufri for these and more.
Coach of the national under-20 team, Manu Garba, has formally kicked off preparations for the 19th African Youth Championship at the Ahmadu Bello Stadium with a 2-month camping program. The FIFA Under-17 World Cup winning coach has 30 players to perfect strategies with in Kaduna for 2 months before the team embarks on a final training camp in February 2015. In a related development, the national under-23 men's football team technical crew continues to prune down players in camp, with head coach Samson Siasia expressing satisfaction with the quality displayed by some of the players.
You have to give everybody a chance, and that's what we're doing. We don't want to say, oh, I don't have one godfather. No, there's no godfather. If you can play, that's it. So you come and show yourself.
Barcelona forward Lionel Messi, German goalkeeper Manuel Neuer, and 2013 winner Portuguese forward Cristiano Ronaldo are in a three-way battle for this year's Ballon d'Or prize. The three men were chosen from an initial 23-man list. The World Player of the Year award will be announced in Zurich on the 12th of January 2015. The table tennis event of this year's Sport Writers Association of Nigeria Swan FCT chapter, Sports Week, has entered the semi-final at the Package B of the Abuja National Stadium. 16 ping-pongers from different media organizations started the race, which will end on Wednesday to give way to the football event.
We want to tell people that what we write, what we speak, we can also do it. And that is exactly what you are seeing here.
I've got the energy, I've got the skills, and I've got the age on my side. So what else is winning the trophy again?
The Swan Week will climax on Friday with a gala night. With Sports News Update, Fisayo Gunfui, NTA News. And it is with that sports package that we wrap up this outing at this time. Thank you for watching.